Today's video was supposed to be like, hey, we fixed the Redeye Charger's airbag system. Psych! That is not what happened. Oh my God. What a giant mess.
Supercharged, 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 supercharged.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Van Voris. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video was supposed to be, hey, cool. Look at how dope my car looks, all aired out. We got it all figured out. And no, that's not what happened. So I'm gonna give you, I filmed yesterday, but the whole video is completely pointless. I'm gonna tell you why. So again, before I get into this, which I forgot, so we have bagged, this would be the 6th car. My first one was Hyundai Genesis. We've done a Magnum. This is the 2nd Charger, 2 Trackhawks. Like, this is the 6th car. Of those 6 cars, I've had 0 issues before. So I guess this is just my turn. What happened was, we thought the air lift performance manifold was bad, which it was. Okay, so they sent me, I guess supposedly when I talked to the guy, that I was sent like an older version or something like that, because they sent me a brand new one. And my controller, the settings look way different than I've ever seen. So it's a whole new updated manifold, which is nice, but it's kind of lame because, well, why would you send me an older one when you have a newer one? But airlift was great. I talked to them, paid the $250 deposit, and then they sent it to me. I got it yesterday morning, threw it on, thought the problem was gonna be fixed. We look at the controller, still have a leak on the left driver's side. Okay, so manifold's done. We reran the lines twice to that left side. So it's not the line, it's not the manifold. So there's 2 things left can be. One is it's going to be the little piece that screws in to the bag where you put the airline in, right? So that's one. Or it's the airbag itself. Now, the odds of it being the airbag itself are extremely low, okay? Extremely low. The odds of it being the little piece, right? Very high. It's basically, it's like an NPT is what it is. So odds of it being very high because it's a brass fitting onto a piece of plastic. So that's what we thought. So we took it off, couldn't find one locally. So what we did is we rewrapped it in Teflon tape even more, tried putting it in. Then we figured out, wow, okay, there's a leak there. It's a little ring piece that goes around the plastic. So took that off. David, my brother, had one. So we got it, put a brass fitting, connected it, and then it still has a leak, but it's not leaking from the fitting. We're like, where is it leaking from? You could like barely, I'm barely see it. Okay, it's like a hairline fracture originally, like a hairline fracture on the actual ring around the airbag. And those things are thick. So we didn't see it. So we kept tightening, and then all of a sudden the crack gets bigger. And I'm like, oh, that's what it is. So let me show you what it is. So that's what that is. Now the fitting on the inside, like, it's deep. The actual like spot inside the piece of the airbag, it's deep. So you can like screw in like a lot. So I'm like, great. I call Universal. I'm like trying to get a hold of them. And then I'm like, hey, like there's a hairline fracture on your bag. Like I need to get a warranty replacement. He's like, look, man, like usually what happens is over tightening. I'm like, it's brass. Like, do you really want to argue with me? He's like, well, you can send the bag in and then we can look at it. And I'm like, bro, I ain't got fucking time for that. I really don't. Like, because you know what happens with this warranty bullshit? If you guys have ever dealt with warranty bullshit, it's such a fucking scam. All the warranty stuff is such a fucking scam. The reason for that is because like, well, you can send the bag in. It's probably going to take a couple weeks. And then he's like, 90% of the time, like, it's usually user error. And I'm like, listen, how am I gonna crack something with a brass fitting? Anyways, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I was like, just overnight me a bag so that way I can fix it. And then, you know, I can just bitch about it later. So I paid $300 last night. They're closed today, obviously. So hopefully they'll overnight me a bag on Monday, and then the car will be back to normal. So I've never had any issues. And of course, it happens to the fucking brand new Redeye that we're trying to get going. So good thing is we got some dope ass pictures of it. So if you guys follow me at KellyBoyKev on Instagram and Snapchat, you guys have already seen those. But the setup is crazy. It's wild looking. So me and Eric, we're gonna do some cool stuff to the trunk, because what we want to start doing is installing air ride for people who live in Amarillo, because there's really no one here that does it like consistently. So that's what we're gonna start doing, but we want to do the whole setup before we actually announce like, hey, we're gonna start doing this on the side, and just kind of installing some stuff like that, because you can get the whole system installed in a day, and you know, it's fairly straightforward. And again, like, I've never had any issues. This is just kind of a once in like a blue moon type deal. It's annoying, but you know, that's why, you know, that's the thing, you know, it happens with car parts. It just happens. So, and like the other crappy thing is, on the universal bag, they send you like these little fittings that go on the top and the bottom. Well, we had to like drill out the holes because the holes weren't correct. And again, usually universal is really good. I just didn't feel like dealing with any warranty bullshit. So it's nothing against Universal, it's just very annoying, because they're like, well, you can send the bag. And I'm like, I'm not gonna send the bag in. Like, I'm not gonna have my car down for another fucking month. The bag is not that expensive. The bag was like $220, and then shipping was like $65. So in my head, I'm like, fuck it, like whatever, it's not that big of a deal. So just, you know, when you're installing, just make sure you double check everything before you install it. And that's probably what we should have done, is checked all the bags. But again, like, it's not something that I would have normally done, but just make sure you check all the fittings, everything before. That way, if something is cracked, you're not putting it on and be like, oh, now I have a leak. Because I thought it was gonna be the fitting, and then, which it partially was the fitting, and then ended up being there was a crack in the actual airbag too. So it is what it is. So I don't have any Charger videos for you guys, because I have a ton of videos planned for that. But hey, you know, when life gives you lemons, you just gotta squeeze that shit, dog. So anyways, that's today's video. That is the update. For everybody asking, like, if you want to get my wheel set up, or if you guys want welds or anything, just literally go on Instagram, contact my brother at David Van Boris, and he'll get you a set. He can get you whatever size you want. If you want to use spacers, if you don't want to use spacers, if you want to use Belloc, if you want to use weld, Bogart, like whatever, just hit up David. He can help you out with all that shit. Anyways, so yeah, that's the video for today. Sorry it's not very exciting, sorry it's boring, but I just want to give you guys an update on the Charger. So very exciting stuff happening in Kevin's life, but you know, it's first world problems. Like, oh my god, it's my $90,000 car that's sitting on my turf inside my gym that I can't drive, but I have 2 other cars I can drive. It's not a big deal. So, but I want to give you guys an update basically on what has happened. So if anything ever happened to you like that, let me know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Have an awesome Saturday. I'm out of this bitch.